Okay, so basically you have to clear, first thing you want to do when you get to a base location is clear it out. We need to shoot out all of the walls, any debris, anything that's close to the objective. You need to make sure it's completely clear. Obliterators work really good for this. Okay, so then you want to build 2 walls directly beside the objective. Then you want to build an anti-smasher floor around the objective. We're building a 1x1 box, and some of the 1x1 is covered up. All right. Okay, so anyway, so yeah, you want to build a 1x1 around this objective. Of course, some of the 1x1 is covered by a no build zone. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna build the part of the 1x1 that we can actually do. So put up our 4 corners. There's our corners, corners, corners. We're gonna put we actually can put the corner on this side too, right there. But the inside we're not going to be able to build, so we can only build the outside. So there we go. There's our 1x1. Ooh, these guys are not playing nice. Okay, so now we want to go and build the outside areas. We want to build a 1x1 just outside of the entrance on all 4 sides. Pretty simple. This is a great location. We're not by any walls or anything, so we can actually build the full 1x1 without any hindrances. There we go. So we put the 1x1 facing out from the center. Another one, really? Come on, man. Get out of here. Not enough ammo? Oh, that's fun. Okay, so now we build the 1x1 expansion onto the core of the base on all 4 sides. There, and there. Now we want to put in the line of sight blockers, so we're going to go and modify a piece to be like this, just a 2-piece. And we're going to put this on every single one of the, in the little dead zones. This is the dead zones here. See, the way this works is these are anti-smasher floors. The anti-smasher floors are to prevent smashers from charging. So these go all the way around, and you notice they're all linked, right? So this one here is going to link here, and it's going to go this way over to this corner. So we want to make sure that we block this side because this is going to be the dead zone, and then you want to go and do the opposite sides because you want to zigzag the enemies into the base. So when they come in, they go zig, zig, you know, all the way around. So we go like this, build in the dead zone, zigzag on the outer wall, dead zone, zigzag to the outer wall, just like that. Now this will take you a little bit of time to understand because it's a little bit complicated due to this red piece kind of getting in the way. But once you get used to the build, man oh man, this build is going to change your life. So now we are running with power base. If you're running with power base, you always build in metal because his base heals based on how much hit points the building pieces have, and metal has the most hit points. So you want to make sure you always build in metal, even though we're fighting against nature enemies for this one, which normally you would not want to build metal against nature enemies because they get a damage bonus against the metal walls. So we're going to build a 1x1 box with a roof and a pyramid and just block my base in there. We built a pyramid to get up to the top. These are my preferred method of getting up to high places because husks cannot follow you. You can also do this. Husks can't go up the corners either, but whatever works for you. Now we're going to get my guys to come in tier 3 all of this. They're going to help me out and upgrade all of this to tier 3. Now if you are fighting something really extra hard, then what you want to do is you want to add expansions onto this. So what you do is you go like this. You want to build one roof and one floor around the outside of the base, anywhere that you can. Just like that. As you can see, this becomes obsolete doing this. So we're going to remove this one. We're going to have to put the jump up part higher or outside further. So you go like this, put it out here, just outside the wall, so that you have the ability to jump up on the base. Okay, so now what this allows you to do is to put an outer defense around the outside. So we're going to go like this now. Now we're going to put up our traps. This is how the traps work for this base. It's very simple, very economy. You can use only what you need to use for this base. If you need more, you put more. If you need less, you put less. Pretty simple. So we're going to build 4 130 traps for this one, because we want to make sure that these interior walls do not fail, because we're fighting against very hard enemies. So we're going to put down our 130s here and here. Put down the knockback traps around the inside. Then we're just going to put gas traps everywhere. So the whole inside will be filled with gas. You got one in front. You got basically the core, the 3 around the core, and then you build one on every single one of the outer areas that we added, the expansion areas. Right there. And right there. Now you can add the wooden floor spikes to the expansion areas as well, just outside the base. That way you slow them coming in. Very important. When you're placing broadsides, you want to put them always on a 1x1 where the wall is facing another wall, and then you put the broadsides right on either side, facing right into each other. That way, when enemies walk in, the broadsides will fire, they will hit the wall, and it'll just bounce back and forth, doing repetitive damage over and over and over again, absolutely decimating the enemy. Okay, so now we're going to show the wall darts. Wall darts you want to put in the corners. Into the corner, they will actually shoot. They will trigger up to 3 away. So if something is clear across the other side, the wall darts will trigger and shoot all the way across, hitting multiple enemies. So we want to put the wall darts in the corners. And that way you have your gas traps on the roof, your broadsides in the corridors, your wall darts in the corners, and that's it. That's the whole base. The only thing that you want to modify if you're fighting really difficult enemies with the outer expansion is basically to prevent them from breaching the exteriors. So you can go and prevent them from breaching the corners by putting knockback traps around the corners to push them away from the core of the base. Just right there and right there, all the way around. And then you can put gas traps around the outside. Any part that's touching a wall or touching an entrance, you can add 1 extra gas trap. And that's if you feel you really need the extra firepower to prevent high-level content, like we are doing a 4-player group here. Okay, so for the inside, as the balloon drops, what you want to do is this real quick here. You go and build a roof really fast. Then you build wall. Immediately put up your knockback traps and your gas traps. And then you can throw up your anti-smasher floors afterwards real quick. You don't want to take too long, otherwise the smashers might show up and make you be in for a bad day. And now all of my guys are going to go up on the roof, and they're just going to snipe from the roof. Their job is basically just to sit up here, snipe any of the big enemies, and for the most part, outside of smashers, this base will completely destroy anything that tries to get inside. As you can see, the enemies have absolutely no chance at all. So the inside of the base here, we built here. You want to make sure that as soon as the base drops, you build the interior. This is the interior part here. You put up those inner walls. my guy was nice enough to throw that up as soon as the balloon dropped. He went and threw up the inside. You want to modify your floor pieces to be in line with the rest of the base. And of course, upgrade your stuff to tier 3 so that your base can power it.
Data's looking good.
So these 4 pieces, these were the dead zone right here. Here, 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 and here. As soon as the balloon dropped, you just put up your walls. And you put up your roof pieces. It helps to put the knockback traps up immediately. Just put the wall and the knockback, wall and the knockback. That way, if the enemies are rushing into the base quickly and you don't have a lot of time, it'll just kind of put that barrier up to stop them from breaking down the door. And then other than that, you just upgrade your these pieces to tier 3 and you're good to go. Tier 3. And as you can see, Hivin Huskies, it's a real bad day. Toast. See, with the slow traps, everything gets slowed down. Everything, the gas has tons and tons of time to do a huge amount of damage. That's what the wooden floor spikes are for, is for ensuring maximum damage. Slows the enemies right down. We also want to put up the line of sight blocking walls right there and there. That way, if anything gets in the base, you can just hide behind the line of sight. Blasters can't shoot you. Enemies come in, just get absolutely cooked. They want to chase you around the outside. You've got your gas, you've got your knock-up. Everything gets slowed down. If you're using the Ice King in your support slot, it actually slows any enemies that touch your floors, so they move really, really slowly. The base is virtually immune to lobbers due to the base regeneration. So we don't have to. You basically, as long as you shoot them, and you don't let them just bombard over and over again, the lobbers can't really do much to the base. Supplemental damage isn't going to cause any breaches. Oh, I'm down.
File successfully retrieved.
As you see, we took a direct hit. We're going to throw the flag down on the roof here, just to bolster the walls. Everything within a 1x1 radius of this gets a huge health boost. So as you can see, the walls are now 25,000 hit points compared to over here, where the walls have 11,000 hit points. So when you hear propane going off, you can always throw a flag down. It gives you a spawn location at high levels and also repairs all the walls so that you don't have any issues. It doesn't compromise the interior. So as you can see, we did lose a couple here. Put the floors back up again.
Another file.
The roof pieces are more than strong enough. You can use these pieces to actually move around the base pretty effectively without the enemy being able to touch you. There we go. We got the mini VASH in here. So this mini VASH is... what is this guy? Berserker Nature, Vampiric Weakening. Okay, cool.
File successfully retrieved.
So what we're going to do is we're going to pull him over here, and then we're going to use a slow field right here.
File.
Oh, we lost a file. What happened there? Oh, we did lose one. Oh, I see the mini boss. Mini boss isn't being nice to us. So we'll just put that back up. Upgrade this stuff back to tier 3. Mini boss is over here in the slow field getting hit. He's a nature enemy. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to use my my fire sword. So we'll go like this. Oh, back into the base.
Another file.
Got to be careful for takers. We'll go pick a razor up real quick here. Do we have any more slow fields? Get a slow field on this mini boss here. There we go. Okay, now we can mess him up pretty good. I'm even going to go a step further. I'm going to put down some... just to give him that little extra slow. It'll basically make it so he basically can't even move. Oh, he's tough. Oh, we'll just leave him then. We don't have enough time to actually kill him.
Data's looking good.
Put a knockback on here. I think our knockback actually ran out of charges, so we're going to push the enemies back like that. Oops.
You collected some of the files.
There we go.
Praiseworthy job, Commander.
And
So,
successful defense.
good job. The data
Solid,
you collected will help us
unstoppable
locate
base.
survivors
Has so
in
many
the points of the
contingencies,
storm.
it basically just completely locks down any problems that you have, any brief periods of breaching that you have, gets completely, absolutely stuffed. It makes it very easy to recover from problems when a propane goes off. If it actually manages to breach your walls or cause a problem, you have outer defenses that slow everything down and buy you lots of time to actually deal with the problems and repair your buildings and whatnot. Yeah, just the ultimate build. This base can win any match. So if you're struggling with the retrieve the data, this is definitely the way to go. Build this base. Even if you're solo, shouldn't matter. You can put defenders on the roof to fill in the gaps for your defensive, measures like rooftop problems like flingers or whatnot. And yeah, you basically can't lose.